back to the channel. I've got another story from another thrilling episode from the Notes Made at the Time series. Now I've brought you to Lee Mill Road, which is, I'd say it's less than half a mile out of Hebden Bridge, and yeah, it's just a story of what happened here, going back to May 2009. As you see, there's a good mixture of Victorian built houses. I think the late 1800s. I think it said 1894 on the plate up there, stone plate. And yeah, as we go down, there's you see there's some good examples of Victorian architecture, and they're all sort of mixed in with some of the newer built houses as we go a bit further down. And I think these were built around about the 1930s. Could have been around about that time, might have been a bit later. Yeah, the reason I brought you down here this morning, it was going back to, like, I'm taking you back to like May of 2009. We're back working at Hebden Bridge in the newly formed neighbourhood policing team, and on each team working there, we had a sergeant. I think it was like 3 PCs and a couple of PCSOs working on each shift. And there's a shifts, if I remember, and the tour of duties, if I remember, and was, I think we did an 8-6 days, and then the team came on doing a 6-3 or a 6-4, what they called evenings, but it were nights, it weren't bloody evenings, weren't that? Yeah, so we're walking down Lee Mill Road. Just behind there, there's some little roads leading off, and that leads down to Windsor Road, another part of Hebden Bridge. But I'm taking you down here just to show you what the area's like. Right, I think for the past, going back to 2009, May 2009, I think for the past month or so, we'd had quite a few cars broken into down here on Lee Mill Road, and I think we had 4 done in one night, which were a bit annoying for the people who own the cars, and for our crime records, our crime stats, it weren't doing us much good at all, really. But that's all part of criminals, I think, and how they operate. Yeah, so yeah, it's a lovely road down here. But as you saw at the top of the road, there's only one way in for a vehicle and one way out. There's a few footpaths leading off, which I'll show you down here. But in the main, once you drive down here, that's your lot. You have to turn around and come back, unless you've got 4x4. And I'll show you where we used to go when we had the police Land Rover. We knew all the little side roads and tracks, so that's what we did. Yeah, so the car thieves would be quite busy on this little lane, really. And what they were doing, they were targeting the vehicles that had sat-navs in. It used to be radio cassettes, but I think most car companies have got wise to that and started fitting them in as one of the main fixtures, rather than having to go out and buy your own. So they're a lot harder to get out. If they were determined, they'd get the things out, but it did help. And then sat-navs came along, and basically over the last few years they'd been stealing them. Now we'd been out during the day shifts delivering crime prevention packs, and for each car that I think we delivered to three either side addresses. So if a car got targeted and brought into, like we did with burglaries, we'd go out and deliver crime prevention packs, and had some handy tips in there about not leaving stuff visible, the old stuff. And with sat navs, don't leave them in view. And we've even mentioned wiping the windscreens, because once they'd stuck the sat nav on there, they could, once you'd taken it off the rubber sucker thing, it left a mark. And of course it was a sign for the thieves to have a go. They knew there were a sat nav in there, so that's what they were doing. Of course, some people left other bits and pieces in there that were visible, like laptops and stuff like that. So that's what they were doing. Just a bit further on here, as you can see, there's some of these houses. There's a right mixture of house building down the centuries. There's the late 1800s, 1930s, probably 1970s, 1980s, and then there's a row of houses here. And I'd say that was late 1700s, going up to 1800s. Lovely little cottages in a lovely area. So yeah, I'll just let you see where we're going. It's a cracking spot down here. So yeah, obviously the thieves are coming down during hours of darkness and just helping themselves to whatever they could. There's one or two street lights, but few and far between. Right, as we come on, there's another little way on and off the road. It's all on foot. There's a pathway there that leads down to the riverside and Hebden Bridge, and I'll show you this. There's a set of steps leading up to like a dirt trap, which eventually leads onto Midgewell Road. And I can tell you there's 76 steps there. I know, I've counted them on numerous occasions. And then we've come to the bottom of Lee Mill Road, and there's some lovely houses here, and I think they were built probably 1980s. Yeah, like I say, it's a lovely spot. I won't go tracking all through them all. But yeah, I'd say they're both built in the 1980s, and we used to nickname them Little Austria, because they do look a bit like Austrian alpine houses. So that's I think there was some quite rich pickings there with the BMWs and the Range Rovers and other vehicles that attracted the thieves. Right, so we're back off our rest days onto evenings. 6-4 evenings. I'd come in round about 20 to 6, and I was looking through the crime reporting system just to see what had been going on our days off. And it looked like there'd been a bit of a spike in crimes on Foster Lane, but they all seem to be occurring after midnight. So what we decided to do, I had word with our sergeant, and I said, look, do you mind if I do some plainclothes obs in the area? We're on Foster Lane now. Mixture of all sorts of little mill houses for the mills that were thriving down here. So yeah, he said, yeah, that's fine. Just do 2 or 3 hours and see what you come up with. Right, so checking the crimes. There'd been quite a few on Foster Lane, quite a few on the houses opposite there that lead up to Keighley Road, and I thought, yeah, I'll put my sneaky beaky stuff on. So up to the locker room, put my old DPM SAS smock along with my rolled up balaclava. Perhaps not the thing that an everyday bobby about town would wear, but it had worked in the past, so I thought, well, I might just do it. So I stuffed my cuffs and my CS gas inside my combat jacket. Had a quick cup of coffee and off I went. The rest of the team were out in the Vivaro van, answering calls and doing the usual sort of stuff. And that's Foster Lane. Yeah, so I started walking on. I started walking down here. I'll just give you a quick sort of glance at what sort of area it is. It's some lovely little old mill houses here. They're built probably by the mill owners for the workers. It's quite a mixed up sort of area. A bit further on, I'll show you what we've got a bit further on. They're the old sort of terraced houses from the late 1800s, and yeah, like I say, the mills have all gone, more or less, or been used for something else, and thankfully they've kept a lot of the old houses, like the mainstay of housing back in the 1900s. I'll just let you have a look down here. These weren't here in 2009. They've been recently built. Right, let's have a look. Right, we're on what we call Palestine Road. Quite topical. And some of the houses here, they're like back-to-back houses. Nice, strong terraced houses, really. And there we go. That's Broughton Street. Most of them are back-to-back, but a lot of them have bought through now and made one big house out of them. Yeah, so I think we'd had a good half a dozen cars brought into in this area, not just Foster Lane, round little terraced houses as well, and on towards the old market and where the doctors were. Yeah. As I said, there's not much off-road parking for folks, so they just left them on the roadside here, and thieves took advantage of that and helped themselves. They'd even had a go up Highfield Crescent, which is a bit bloody steep, nicknamed Frying Pan Alley. It's not to do with residents' cooking skills or what the main cooking appliance was. It's just the shape of the place. It looks like a frying pan. So that's how it's called, Frying Pan Alley. As you see as I'm walking along, there's cars parked here. There probably always has been. Some more old Victorian terraced houses, Windsor Road, and a Windsor View. Now then, down the back there, past Broughton Street, there's some little units, little industrial units. and one or two of them have been brought into as well, so I'd have given like the free rein to have a wander around, dressed like an urban terrorist. So, but I enjoyed doing stuff like that. It probably stems from when I was a kid, up in Woodside and Booth Down, playing endless games of Japs and Commandos. Right, we'd had one or two. This is Spring Grove. We'd had one or two cars brought into one here. I think one lad had his, I think it was either a Toyota or a Mitsubishi truck that he had for work. I think he was a builder, and he'd had quite a lot of his tools nicked, and he were sort of spitting feathers and playing hell, and rightly so. He nicked his bloody tools, he wouldn't be able to work, would they? And it's just so I was sort of wandering on here. These houses behind, they weren't built, it was just spare ground. I think somebody had an idea in the past to build a swimming pool there, and they had a collection for raffles and all sorts of stuff, and it never came to fruition. So we didn't get a swimming pool. I'll just show you. Yeah, with that's Spring Grove. Like I say, I think they were built about must be mid to late 90s, I think. And there's some more little industrial units. I think the one lad, he had a car mechanic's garage there. He turned up one morning and all his bloody tools had been nicked, which were more than annoying. Right, so I thought I'll keep hanging around in bloody shadows. It was a pretty quiet night, really. weren't much about. There were one or two walking past that didn't even bloody see me or give me a second glance. So yeah, right, I'd been out for I'd say about an hour and a half. I just enjoyed the walking around. I was clocking up the miles and stuff. And as I came out onto Foster Lane from Victoria Road, I just heard a radio call from our control saying that somebody up at Lee Mill Road had been disturbed from the sleep, and when they looked out into the road, there were three lads walking down checking car doors, and then I think one had a go. One had tried to smash the window, but that didn't work. So they just sort of carried on. Obviously, the rest of the team were scrambled to that job, and I was stood where this bridge is here, and it was that quiet at night. I could hear the van leaving Hebden Bridge, and it screaming up Keithley Road, up towards up past Foster Lane, and then up towards Lee Mill Road. I thought, oh, great! What I'll do, like I say, I know most of the places here, like the bloody back of my hand. I've been policing down here for years. So I came over this little bridge here, that's Hebden Water, and I was a lot steadier on my feet in those days, and I set off, like more of a speed march than a run, onto this track here. I'd kept myself reasonably fit, so I was making good progress. I won't reenact it, just in case I take a bloody tumble and add to a bit more of the dramatic content. So yeah, I came hoofing it on here. Mind you, it's not like it is now, it was bloody pitch black. But the thing is, I didn't want to. I had my mag light up my sleeve, but I didn't want to put that on case it spooked anybody, any of these lads that we were looking for. So there weren't a soul about it, bloody pitch black. Just over that, you can't see it really, but there's an archery club there. And I think they meet every Sunday and play at Robin Hood. It's quite good to watch actually. That's it. They put the targets up, and all you can hear is, oh, bloody hell! Imagine back in the day when they were flying around. Could take somebody's eye out with that. Your Majesty, King Harold. Anyway, so much for that one. So I just carried on. I'll keep turning around, let you know where I'm going, where I've been. So you've got the river there running down. It was a bit higher than that actually, because we'd had a bit of rain. So I just carried on. I overheard a radio call from the van. The rest of my team up at Lee Mill Road saying that they were doing an area search. Said that obviously they'd turn the lights off and put the windows down, and driving slowly down Lee Mill Road, see if we could catch these buggers in the act. Yeah. So onwards and upwards. Right, rounding this bit of a corner here, it comes to a straight bit, just there, and I broke into a jog. That's it, I won't do it now, but I had been training. I'd done quite a lot of I call it cross-country running really, just to keep fit for no apparent reason. I always enjoyed that, especially around here. You couldn't find any better training ground. And also I'd got my bike. I was out on my bike off to work and stuff on it, so and then setting off on my rest days all through Crags and up towards Walshire, and yeah, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'll let you have a look where I'll go. It is a bit uneven. But by this time I'm still making good time, listening out all the time for the any update from the pals in the van. As always, if you do get a chance to come down, all you have to do is head through Hebden Bridge town centre, over the little bridge from George Square, turn right onto Valley Road to the end, onto Victoria Road, and if you just follow that road on, eventually you will come to that little Packhorse bridge I've just been over, and it brings you here. I wonder if that were I'm no builder out, but I just wonder if that were a quarry at one time. It looks like it, but I've never really worked out what these are doing here. I think it's for the waterboard, but I was conscious of tripping over that bloody thing as I come round the corner. But luckily, I'd like to say I've been on here hundreds, if not thousands of times on my way home. So yeah, I know I keep going on about it, saying what a cracking spot it is, but it is, and I'm just so chuffed to be here. There's no finer place, and I've mentioned before in past that if I win lottery, I'm going to go live somewhere else. Probably only get homesick for Hebden. So I come belting round here, slowing down for these. I knew there were some really loose rocks and stuff here, and another waterboard grate. I don't know what the hell that was for, but never mind. Who's to know? Probably somebody will. If you do, just let us know. I'm always keen to find out stuff. So I legged it on, and obviously I slowed down here. Just slowed down and kept an ear out, just listening out for anything unusual. There was nothing but the sound of water going past on the river. So I started coming up here. That's it, it's bloody pitch black. And then, before I go any further, I'll just show you this. It's Midjole Bowling Club. It's probably the only bowling club left now in Hebden. I think there's another one up at Savile Road. That's a lovely spot. Once dealt with a theft of stone here. Theft of stone flags. Up at Yorkshire Stone. I'll tell you about that another day. Anyway, I reached the bridge here. And I just heard some feet padding along the pathway across there, across the river where the trees are, towards the bridge. So basically I stood to one side and I thought, I wonder if it's my pals setting off on a wild goose chase, chasing shadows or whatever. But it wasn't. The footsteps got closer and closer, louder and louder as they came across the bridge. And I thought, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I just jumped out and blocked the access there. There were two lads. I don't know where the other one had gone. Obviously got spooked by a police van coming down Lee Mill Road, and there were just these two lads, I'd say in the mid-20s. They looked like they'd seen a bloody ghost, and I'd probably done the same if I saw somebody leaping out with a bloody combat jacket and a balaclava on. Anyway, I shouted out, stand still, and police and all this sort of stuff that you need to shout. Show me your hands and all this sort of stuff that you have to bark these orders loud enough for them to hear, especially if they're in a panic like that. Adrenaline's running. Thankfully they both put their hands out, so I handcuffed one hand each, threading one of the cuffs through the bars of the bridge. So these two lads were now safely handcuffed, not being able to go anywhere, handcuffed together through the bars of the bridge. So, it was a good little job, really. We searched them. There were screwdrivers, the usual sort of burgling, thieving kit, and also a sat-nav with its wires dangling off. I shouted up, I said, I've got two 1012s, which is, we used a 10 code at that time. I don't know if they still use it or not, but 1012s is prisoners on suspicion of theft. I think it was Dom, one of my pals from MPT. He came running down. We just basically pissed about, pretending we haven't got handcuffed kittens and all the rest, just to add to the drama of it all. So yeah, it was a good little job. We caught these two lads. I don't know where the other one went, and on the interview they declined to tell us. So after we messed about, pretending we couldn't find keys and we'd have to get fire brigade and all the rest of it. We set them free and then we handcuffed them both. I handcuffed one with mine and Dominic got his out and handcuffed the other one. So off we went, a good little lock-up. Unconventional ways, but yeah, it worked. And that's where we are. If you remember as I came down Lee Mill Road, I showed you one of the footpaths, and it's the Riverside Walk from Lee Mill Road. It's just a little path. I wouldn't advise you coming down here at night unless you've got a good torch or a mag light with you. But so I'm quite chuffed with that. And I thought, well, if they have been spooked coming down Lee Mill Road, this is probably one of the quickest ways out of the area if you're a Billy burglar or a Charlie car thief. I thought for one, they're not going to go negotiating the 76 steps. I was reasonably fit and I was still getting to a bit of a short of breath thing going up there. Yeah, so that was that. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you like these little these wild adventures of Martin in the Happy Valley. If you do, just let me know. All right then, I'll see you in a bit. Ta-da. Right, I'm just I said this is like little Austria, those little houses I told you about, bottom of Lee Mill Road. I'll just show you this bit here. It's a little known track which me and my pal found up this track here. And I'll just show you where it leads to. It is one of the exit routes that you can take if you've got a vehicle, or you could take. They've probably blocked it off by now. But we used to come down it Land Rover doing sneaky beaky stuff. It was brilliant. But I look back now and think, bloody hell, folk pay lots of brass to go off-roaded in their old Land Rovers or 4x4s. Me and my pal were getting paid to do it. It was just unbelievable. And I'd give a king's ransom to go back to those days, because they were the magic times, and I don't think we realised at the time. But yeah, so what we did, we'd come down Lee Mill Road up this dirt track. Obviously you can't turn round too sharp a bend on there. I can get the angle right. Yeah, too sharp a bend on there. So what we did, we carried on driving. It was quite bloody precarious really. We got the river down there, and knowing our past exploits in bloody Land Rover, it's a bit, looking at it now, it's a bit bloody dodgy, to say the least. But yeah, we didn't see the dangers. It was all good fun. Like I say, there's a right bloody drop there. I don't think we'd have got out of that as easy as last little escapade. So further down the track, and we'd come into it's the other side of Midgeo Bowling Club. Now this was a car park. It's all a bit overgrown now, but we used to do a quick turn around there. We do it in one. With none of that, despite the fantastic manoeuvrability of a Land Rover Defender 90. We'd mastered it, getting round in one, and then we straight back on, rerunning retracing what we'd just where we'd just been. It was brilliant, and I think because we were that adept to it that we didn't even have bloody lights on. Sometimes when my pal were off, he'd send somebody down to work with me from either Todd or Hebden Bridge, and I'd purposely bring them on these little tracks and bumpy roads, and you could see him. So you could see him grabbing hold of the handle above the door of the 19 inside the cab. There's an handle above the door that you can be used for steadying yourself. So yeah, we came on here. Instead of going back to Little Austria, I won't go take you up there, it's a bit of a trek, but up there we went. It brings you out with a little hamlet, not a cigar, a collection of houses. Follow that track further up and it comes out on the access to the to Lee Wood Road, and the little track that leads, like it says, somebody's put a sign up there, blocked to cars, so that would have put us, I wouldn't have been able to do that in any way, not nowadays. Yeah, so it takes you up to that little collection of houses up there, and then eventually it's on Lee Wood Road, and we used to do it. Lee Wood. Yeah, and basically that was like a sneaky way of getting up to Hebden Store without anybody watching you or seeing you. So yeah, the thrills and spills of community policing. I don't know how we got away with it. Getting paid to do all that, what a cracking job. Bloody hell. Loved it. While you're looking back, you do look back you do look back and think, that was bloody amazing, what a ride. And we do meet up now and again. Sometimes we go metal detecting, but we didn't do much metal detecting, we just sort of sat drinking coffee and reminiscing about how we used to live, how we used to work. Right, I'll see you again. Take care of yourselves. See you in a bit. Ta-ra now.